Namaskar, greetings and salutations. Thank you for joining me for another installment of Yoga Off the Mat and in the World, anytime, any place. Today I come to you from my studio here in Washington, D.C., Shakti Mind Body Studio, and we just finished up with a prenatal class of ShaktiMamas. They didn't feel like being filmed today. We've got a few of them very, very close to delivery. We've got some Buddha babies that should be on arrival very soon. But today's featured postures were pigeon, much different animal, and double leg pigeon. These are fantastic hip openers and preparing for the marathon of labor and birth, of opening those hips and getting those babies, not the head so much, ladies who've had babies. We know it's those shoulders that come through. And so in order to get the second chakra to relax and open up, because the hips don't lie, baby, come and join me for this very short flow. So I like to teach it from downward facing dog. So we're going to get onto our mats. If we don't have our mats, just make sure that we have a non-slip surface, that you're not going to be sliding all over your carpet or your freshly oiled carpet wood. We don't need any accidents. Yoga is to make us feel good. So checking in, glutes up, heels down, sloping from the tips of the fingers to the coccyx, from the coccyx to the heels. We can check ourselves. Shoulders in alignment with the palms, hips, shoulders, ankles on the same plane, and pulling up and releasing down at ease. Right leg up. Some like to keep the heel as the focal point. I like to turn it out and stretch. Knee comes down. Kind of wiggle the hips. Start wiggling, wiggling, wiggling those hips. We want to get the back leg as far away from the front foot as possible. Use the outer edge of the front foot to release the heel away from the groin. So we want to see some space here. If you can get 90 degrees, puro, excellent. But I'll take 10 degrees, 15 degrees, whatever you got in you. If we've got a little extra space, the right glute is lifted up off of the mat, then that's when we employ our tools. So handy, we have a block and a blanket, depending on how much space you have. I'm a little cold, so I've got just a little bit of space. Usually it'll come all the way down. But that's when we use our breath to help sink the torso, to help sink the pelvic floor into the mat, okay? So bring the fingertips back to the same plane as the hips. Make sure the back knee and the top of the foot is down, and we're not using the shoulders and the fingers to cause resistance to keep us lifted. As you exhale, we keep those chaturanga elbows tucked into the body and slowly begin to open the hips and relax. Soften your gaze, find your drishti, draw out that single point, hold that defocused gaze, breathing into the heart space, open up the sternum, roll the shoulders back, open up through the throat. If we have no contradiction, go ahead, give me some diva action. And then exhale, we can melt. Release any tension that was built in the sacrum, the lower spine, and walk it out and lower it down. Things we can do here for my non-pregnant mommies, we can put a little twist on it. So that would require us to keep a nice long spine. Start walking the hands over towards the right, hooking the left elbow to the outside of the right knee, and then lowering or just hooking the elbow so that it comes in alignment with the right knee. Right arm comes behind the back, yogi lock with those peace fingers, the big toe, and relax. Now, of course, at home, you're going to take far more breaths, at least 5 to 7 breaths in each of these asana. I'm just going through the technical aspects of each of the asana. So then bring this left leg forward and stack the left ankle on top of the right knee. And the right knee should be above the left ankle. So this top foot should be able to move freely unencumbered. So this got a little bit of work. Let's shift, shift, shift. So we've got some movement here. Use the fingers, pick up the tuchus, and when you look down, you should see an equilateral triangle right there between the legs. Sitting up nice and tall. First, we'll move the flesh from the sit bones once again. Maybe even grab the inner thighs, rolling that thigh flesh outward so we can get a nice outward rotation with the hips. Sitting up tall, regal and divine. This time we'll float the eyes closed, or again, find your drishti, your focal point, and apply a little pressure. Each exhale to that top knee, melting, surrendering to your mat, to what is, and disengaging from the chatter of my mouth, the chatter of the noise, and the world around you. Here we also have two options for my non-pregnant mommies and yogis. Take your right elbow, leaning out nice and long, keeping a nice long spine, and then rolling that left shoulder back. Bring your palms into prayer at your heart. Really flex through that top foot. Open those toes. And let's see if we can massage our breath and cause that massaged breath to massage the muscles so that we can get the thumbs to lodge in the center of the sternum. Something like this. Okay, and everybody is different. So yoga helps us to go inward, explore our inner verse. So what works for me may not work for you. I can give you the options and the technical breakdown, but you have to apply it according to how it works for you. So another option is to walk it out. Turn to the side here so that you can see. We want to keep the spine nice and long. This we'd like to avoid. This we'd like to engage. Drop those shoulders, pull in the perineum, pull in the uddiyana, leading, gaze beyond the front edge of your mat. And yes, you'll feel it right away. And we'll use our breath to massage, to cajole, to encourage the release and relaxation of the tight spaces in the body. And so once again, you will take several more breaths than I did, and that's a nice simple flow, and you'll let me know how it goes. Thank you for joining me once again. This is Aisha Ali of Shakti Mind Body Studio, and keep using the force.